You had a plea of no contest to count 1 on October 17th. The court ordered a PSI and TAP evaluation. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. The state is opposing your application, and they took several cases into consideration. All right, are both parties ready to proceed? State?
Yes, sir.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State?
Yes, sir.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection. No objection.
All right, state, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. Defense calls Mike Hernandez.
All right, Mr. Hernandez is appearing by Zoom. Any objection for me?
Oh.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can lower your hand. State your name for the record, please.
Mike G. Hernandez.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, Mr. Hernandez. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for being here. I know you're working. I just want, can you tell the court how you know Matthew Castro?
He worked for me about 2 years. 2015, 2017.
And what does he do for you?
He started as a helper at the shop, and then he moved up to a welder's helper.
And what does that exactly do? What were his tasks?
He helps a welder with anything they were doing, giving them grinders, picking up welds, setting stuff straight for him as the welder's going.
And I Castro and asked him if he was ready to go back to work. He just lit up. Can you tell the court what kind of worker he is?
He was on point in time, always ready to go. He always helped us out. And we actually, when he left, it was hard to replace him. So I really need him back.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Pass witness, Judge.
All right, state.
Hi, Mr. Hernandez. My name is Hank Wilkins. I'm one of the prosecutors here. If I ask anything that you don't understand, just let me know and I can try and rephrase it, okay?
Yes.
So, can you give us the years that Mr. Castro, when did he work for you?
What years?
Yes, sir.
He did between 2015 and 2017.
And why did he stop working for you in 2017?
He started having problems at home, and I told him I couldn't. I needed somebody who I could, who could be more. I didn't want him dealing.
Okay. And was that the stuff that was going on at home? Is that in his personal life, or was that court stuff?
I think it was just personal life. I didn't get too involved. I just know it was affecting my work.
Okay. And do you know anything about the cases that he's being sentenced on today?
Not too much. I haven't heard too much about it. I just know that he was willing to come back to work if it was possible, and I told him I could use him.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
Just briefly, Judge. Mr. Hernandez, you said problems at home, it was affecting the work, and you mentioned phone calls. Was that his wife calling the work, or what was
Yes, the wife kept on bothering him, and with us, it's very dangerous. Some of the stuff that we work with the tools are high power stuff, and you got to be paying attention the whole time.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Yes. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Laura Rivera.
Defense.
Ms. Rivera, can you tell the court what your relationship with Matthew is?
His mother.
And can you tell the court, growing up, what kind of child was he?
Real good. He, my mom and dad helped me raise him. He always followed my dad and mom around. Barbecue, fishing, we did everything. He would always help out, like when they were doing mechanic stuff in their vehicles, he would help out. He always wanted to help out.
And
They called him handyman.
Handyman?
He was little and they called him a little man. Yeah.
And how is he in school?
He was really good. He wasn't gifted and talented. I know you hadn't heard that. What is it called today?
That's like AP.
Yeah, like he is really advanced in his education.
And then after high school,
So him and my, she's 23 now, and my 16-year-old were kind of raised with my mom because I was focusing on my son. So he started messing up a little when I tried to, get him back. He started doing good. I took him to counseling and started taking classes. He had gone through juvenile. But he's doing good. He was doing good. And he got married. and I saw him changing. It's like it took a big toll on him. It was really toxic, like really bad.
And you say changing, what do you mean?
Changing, like he wasn't himself anymore. He wasn't outgoing anymore. I would call him and he wouldn't answer. He was a type that was always, he would call me or he would visit us. And at first she would come with her food, but once she got her kids back, everything started changing. I think she started getting stressed out when she had her 4 kids back and started taking it on him.
And how was Matthew with the children?
Really good. They love him. As a matter of fact, after the apparent assault that he did, she said she sent them the documents that she wanted him to be their father legally.
To legally adopt
Yes.
them?
Yes,
Okay.
but he had a good relationship with them.
And then you mentioned your family. What kind of supports? And then who is Elvia Saucedo?
My mom.
That's his grandma. And then who is
She helped me great stuff.
Mr. and Mrs. Joe Gonzalez?
Our neighbors.
And did you get them to create affidavits for Matthew?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor,
Just a quick little.
at this time, defense offers defense 1 and defense 2. No objection.
Okay. Any other questions?
Just briefly. And since Matthew's been home after he got out on bond, what changes have you seen in him?
Outgoing again, helping out, loves to eat, watch movies together. He's just outgoing again. He's himself again.
Back to his old self? And
Yes.
can you tell the court why Matthew would be a good candidate for probation?
I feel like he's ready to move to a new home soon too, so we're gonna get out of the area. Yes.
Thank you.
I need him.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State.
Hi, Mr. Rivera. My name is Hank Wilkins. I'm one of the prosecutors here. So you've known Mr. Castro his whole life?
Of course.
Okay. So you were in contact with him when he got sentenced in 2016 to possession of less than right? He got probation in that case?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. And he wasn't successful in that, was he?
Yeah, he was.
So he got sentenced at that point to 6 months, right?
Yes.
And you were in contact with him in 2017 when he got sentenced on burglary of a vehicle third, right? You got 10 months there, right? Okay. And you were in contact with him back in 2014 when he got sentenced on burglary of a vehicle for 4 months and 6 days, right?
Yes.
And back in 2015, you were in contact with him when he got a year probation on burglary of a vehicle second renewal, right?
Yes.
Do you know if he was successful in that probation? No, it's not.
Sorry, I can't remember. I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay. Step by step.
I'm too far.
So he wasn't successful in that, right? Or you don't remember? Okay. But would you be
Okay.
June of 2022 when you got an obstructing a highway intoxication?
Well, yes and no, because he's married, so he hasn't lived with me for a couple of years. 8
Okay.
years.
He got 12 months there, right? He got 12 months probation there. He got deferred.
I know he got permission. Yes.
Okay. So can you tell the court what's going to be different about this time?
This time, I think he's older. He has a better head on his shoulders now. He was incarcerated for 5 months this time, and I feel like he learned a lot. My mom had a heart attack like 2 years ago. And then
Sorry, just 1 second. Excuse me. There's no talking in the box to each other. Separate. All right, we're back on the record. You can continue.
So my mom had a heart attack about 2 years ago. She had major surgery a couple of months ago, and he's scared. He doesn't want something.
And so you're aware he's got several charges that we're here for today, right?
Yes.
And I know you haven't looked at this, but they did a report to help the judge decide. He says he doesn't have substance abuse issues in this. Do you agree with that?
I agree.
Let pass the witness, Judge.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next witness.
Your Honor, no more witnesses, but if you would allow, the defendant would like to address the court.
All right, I mean, you can address the court as a witness.
Yeah.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Matthew Castro.
All right, defense, any questions? Or no?
No, Your Honor.
All right. You were here when I was talking. And I went through some of the things that you've been in court for, right? And it looks like you've gotten opportunities on deferred adjudication right? You've gotten opportunities on probation, right? And you're not always successful in that. Is that right? Do what? I'm sorry.
I wasn't successful.
You were not before. Okay. So can you tell the court why you think this time is going to be different?
I believe that, or during that time, I was younger. I was going through it because of my marriage. There's no excuse for my actions, but just being in the state of mind that I was, I felt betrayed. I felt worthless. And I guess I wasn't thinking straight. I was younger. I was less mature, and at the time, prison wasn't like on the line, you know. So I was really just being a knockoff. But at this time, now that I know I'm based in prison, I had nothing but time to think while I was in jail. The whole neighborhood loves me. They're all older people, and since I did, I've always helped them. And I really believe it. Like, if you give me one more chance, I'll succeed. And if I don't, I'm not gonna run. I'll turn myself in, and y'all could do what y'all will with me.
So, you said you're not a danger to the community, but do you think that some of these charges that you're charged with might make people have the idea that you're a danger to the community?
Maybe in some light, yes.
So you're a felon, and one of these charges is felon in possession of a firearm. That sounds dangerous, right? And a couple of these are burglaries. That sounds dangerous, right? What year did you get married?
In 2019, March 15th.
So I know that there was some testimony that some of this might be tied, some of your criminal actions might be tied to your marriage, but
I was with her way before that.
Because, you know, if you got married in 2019, but some of these charges are from before that, like how long were you all together?
About 7 or 8 years.
And are you taking responsibility for your actions, or are you blaming your enemies?
No, I'm taking responsibility. Like I said, I'm not trying to justify my actions. Y'all could give me the max if you want. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm gonna do good. I have a job lined up. And my plan is to pay all. If I can pay restitution to the victims of my crimes, I am. I'll do whatever needs to be done to show that I'll be successful at this, and to show that I have a heart and that I'm not just somebody that wakes up every day thinking, how am I gonna F up the world? You know what I mean?
So, did Mr. Lyles go over this with you as a pre-sentencing? Did you report to the judge to help him make a decision? Did he talk to you about this at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that was in here was you don't think you have a substance abuse problem. Is that still something you're saying? Like, you believe that's still?
Yeah. This was all because of the judge and because of what I'm trying.
I passed the witness, Judge. Thank you.
Just briefly, Matthew, is there anything else you want to say to the judge or to the victim?
To the victims, I'm sorry for what I've done. And if I could meet you in person and tell you sorry in person, I will, and I'll pay the restitution. I don't want to be incarcerated. That's my second month. You know, and I'll do whatever the court needs me to do, what they want me to do, community service, everything. I'll do it to show that I'll be successful. And Your Honor, if I fail to do so, which I'm confident that I will not fail, I'll come back, surrender myself, and face you again, and you can do what you want.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, any other questions?
No questions, sir.
I have a question. Why did you commit this crime?
When I commit this crime, at the time, I was going through it with my wife. He kept all my belongings, left me with literally nothing, and I was just.
So why didn't you go to her house?
Excuse me?
I said, did you go to her house and take your stuff back?
No, she only gets me.
All right, so instead you went to a stranger's house that you don't know, and you went in to take their stuff.
It was an RV, man.
All right, so.
Because my wife was reaching the point where she ran my vehicles and she tried to keep the keys away from my mom from her vehicle one time because I left them there. There was already a lot of drama going on with her and my family.
So why do you call your grandmother?
I don't want to put her through the stress as well.
All right, so you decided to put a stranger through this stress of having their items stolen.
It's my little horrible mistake, and like I
Nope. You made choices, not mistakes. You know what a mistake is?
something by accident.
Now, let me just tell you. It's raining outside. Here's the example, Diana. Weather forecast. I don't think anybody really anticipated it was going to rain today. But let's say you know it's going to rain today. Your mom tells you, your grandmother tells you, and so you come to court with an umbrella because you know it's going to rain today. People are coming in wet. You have your umbrella. You go outside, and you're like, "Good thing my parent called me to say it was going to rain because I'm prepared." Now, realize this is not my black umbrella because I have initials on mine and it's not here. That's a mistake. So you going into that person's RV and taking their items, those were choices you made. That's not a mistake. You didn't mistakenly think, "Oh, this RV is the same color as mine. I'm a little bit intoxicated right now. And I know I always leave the door open and this RV's door is open. Let me go in there." You knew that wasn't your RV. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So you made a choice. So I'm trying to figure out, why did you choose to break into somebody's RV and take their items? And this whole thing about, I'm going through things with my wife, that's not going to cut it. Because everybody here has had a bad problem, I'm sure, where they've gone through a bad relationship. That doesn't mean they go out and commit crimes and then want to pass because I was in a bad relationship. So why did you go and take their items?
For clothes and everything I needed that day.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
And I read in the PSI report, he said he didn't think he would get charged. So I'm assuming he didn't think he would get caught.
Yes, ma'am. At the time, with my immature thinking.
I'm sorry, what?
At the time, yes, I was being immature about my choices.
And you say you were being immature. How old are you?
28, man.
All right. And this occurred. Let me pull up the date. What's the offense date on this?
March 8th.
All right. So anything else from either side?
Nothing from the defense, Judge. He'll be clear.
All right. I'm not going to grant his application. I'm going to find him guilty. Does anyone wish to speak to the cap?
Yes, Your Honor. And Your Honor, and I appreciate the court's patience. Any delay in this case has been absolutely my fault and not Mr. to where he can contribute to society. And if this means that he has to do some time, he's willing to accept that. We would ask just for the 2 years, because whenever he does get out, Judge, I know he's going to be able to go get a job, be a contributing citizen. He has removed him. I can attest he's removed himself from a bad situation. You heard Mr. Vera testify how he's changed. I could even see that. I've never seen a client, when I mentioned working, when he was getting out on bond, how them light up and how excited they were. He's the only client I've ever seen that happen with. So Judge Bissassi, you give the minimum 2 years, let him do his time and be able to get out and contribute to society.
All right. And in the PSI report, I see that restitution for Mr. McDermott, DERMAIN, that was never given. The only restitution I see is for Richard Pacheco. And that's for the expense of the tow truck and fixing his truck. Is there going to be any objection
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
to the $800?
Your Honor, I think we've tried to reach out to Mr. McDermott and haven't been able to get a response. These are not victimless crimes that the defendant's accused of. So we are asking for 6 years, Judge. And these are, like the court talked about with the defendant, these are not mistakes. These are choices that the defendant made. So we're asking for the 6 years, Judge.
All right. As previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. I'll take into consideration 2023 CR 8110. There's to be restitution of $800 to Richard Pacheco. The court is going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison and give you credit for any time served.
And Judge, we would ask the court if Mr. Castro could have some time to get his affairs in order and then turn himself in.
Right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Castro, I want to let you know I did review everything and take in consideration your employment and that you're saying that you've changed. When you go to prison, do not become institutionalized. at the prison. You can still pick up different trades. You can actually get a college degree at the prison and it's free. So you can work on that. And then when you get out, I'm sure Mr. Hernandez, if he was willing to take this risk with you working for him, I'm sure he will do it again. When you get out, stay on the track to become a welder. You understand? All right, good luck to you.